Well, I'm delighted to be here, and thank you very much. And it's so nice to see friends here, so thank you. I really, let me just correct you, I'm going to stay for Leo's speech, and then I have to sneak out. But Katrina, thank you very much for your kind words, and really for carrying out your father's truly incredible legacy through the Lantos Foundation. He was a very, very good friend. We developed a wonderful relationship as we tried to explain that we were both immigrants and we had an awful lot in common. So thank you for carrying on his legacy and really doing so much on behalf of the Lantos Foundation. We all miss your father very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning I have the very special privilege of introducing a very, very dear friend while paying tribute to the incredible life-saving organization that he now leads. And I'm grateful to Ambassador Scherer for giving me that opportunity, and to the Embassy of the Netherlands for recognizing the work of the Jesuit Refugee Service USA with its Anne Frank Award. I feel it's appropriate for me to be here because, as many of you do know, I am a refugee. I was born in Czechoslovakia, but my family was forced into exile twice, first by the Nazis and then by the communists. I'm also a Jesuit of sorts. Since the early 1980s, I have made my academic home at Georgetown University, and I still teach a class there in the School of Foreign Service, and I have to tell you, I love every minute of it. One of the things that I respect about Georgetown is the way that it has maintained its Catholic identity while rising to become one of the world's great universities, and no one deserves more credit for this than Father Leo O'Donovan. He was an incredible president of Georgetown, tripling the endowment, strengthening the board of directors, and expanding the university's commitment to research, especially in medicine. But he also launched a far-sighted set of initiatives that reflected the school's Jesuit values, including the Center for the Muslim Christian Understanding and the Center for Social Justice. He was very involved and accessible to faculty and students alike, and he was known for his warmth and friendship. And as a faculty member, I can tell you that he had everybody's respect. Father Leo was also called upon to make some very hard choices about Georgetown's hospital and other issues which divided the university, but he never, never shied away from tough decisions and was always honest and fair. I was a professor, but I also lived around the corner from the university where I still live, so I also knew Father Leo as a very active member of the community, and he remains a beloved figure and a close and very, very dear friend of mine. I also have to tell you something a little bit of a personal nature. Father Leo is a fantastic dancer. And I discovered this when we were at a state dinner at the White House, and there was dancing afterwards, and I was standing next to him, and he said, "Do you like to dance?" And I said, "I love to dance." And he said, "Well, do you want to dance?" And I said, "With you?" I was raised a Catholic, and somehow dancing with a priest seemed a little weird. But a few years later, he came to my birthday party, and we did dance. You're a great dancer. So, of course, we're not here today to salute Father Leo's sense of rhythm. Rather, we're here to salute his sense of purpose and his leadership of the Jesuit Refugee Service USA during a critical moment in time. As all of you are painfully aware, the world today is witnessing the worst humanitarian disaster since the end of World War II. The number of refugees and other displaced persons is at an all-time high, and it shows no signs of abating. This is a test for all of humanity and for the United States of America, which has always been the world leader in refugee resettlement. It's a moment to show who we are as a people, and through it all, the Jesuit Refugee Service USA has embodied the very best of us. They have made it their mission to help refugees heal in the traumatic aftermath of displacement, to provide them with the opportunity to learn, and to enable them to thrive so that they can reclaim their lives and contribute to their communities. Operating in some 47 countries, JRS is now meeting the educational, health, and social needs of more than 750,000 refugees. It's an impressive number, but Father Leo and his colleagues are not satisfied. Under his leadership, JRS has embarked on an ambitious global education initiative which is designed to double the number of people JRS educates globally over the next 5 years. Father Leo and JRS have also stepped forward courageously to advocate on behalf of refugees, to oppose those trying to keep them out of our country, and to remind Americans of their obligations to the world's most vulnerable people. There's one American in particular who is in special need of such a reminder. And in that spirit, I would like to read an excerpt from an open letter Father Leo wrote to President Trump. I quote, "Our country's welcome of these newcomers expresses who we are as a people. It reflects our desire to respond to the call of the Jewish and Christian scriptures to welcome strangers among us, especially those in danger or great need. It is rooted in the recognition that all men and women possess a shared humanity, dignity, and in the eyes of faith are sons and daughters of a loving Creator who calls us together as one human family." End quote. I am deeply disappointed that the Trump administration has not taken Father Leo's words to heart. In fact, it seems to be moving even further in the wrong direction, with reports this week that the refugee admissions program is going to be cut yet again. This is not only immoral, it is also unwise. By turning away refugees, we are turning away people who could make extraordinary contributions as doctors, lawyers, activists, and yes, even as Secretary of State. These are resilient people who embody the best of humanity, just as Anne Frank did. We should be welcoming them, not shutting the door. And it is impossible for the United States to lecture other countries about doing more when we are closing our borders to those in need of sanctuary. I have traveled across this country many times by car. We are a very big country. We have plenty of room. As America's Secretary of State, I was privileged to represent my country in nations on every continent. I had many meetings with high officials in fancy offices, but these are not the meetings I remember the most. The people I will not forget are those I encountered in camps and rehabilitation centers, in health clinics and safe havens for battered women and girls. In every corner of the world, I saw resolve in the eyes of men and women and girls who were determined to fight for their dignity, for their rights, and for their children, but who needed a helping hand. Back in Washington, I was asked a different question. Why should we care about people in far-off places with unpronounceable names? I was assured that the task was hopeless, that we could not afford to undertake it, and that we had too many other problems about which to worry. And I replied that we had learned over and over again that the gravest dangers to the world's security have deep roots. I believe deeply that if the developed world did more to help deserving, especially refugees, we would see people everywhere become citizens and contributors. But providing this help is not the job of governments alone or of any one organization. It is a collective responsibility that can only be met by government officials, advocacy groups, professional organizations, and NGOs, such as the Jesuit Refugee Service. These organizations deserve our constant support, our highest recognition, and our enduring gratitude. So that is why I am so pleased to be here today to salute Father Leo O'Donovan and the work that he leads now. It is my honor to be here with all of you, and dear Leo, thank you very much for everything.